Cyclone MMA. UFC 273, it's in the books, guys. It happened. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about some of the prelim fights. We're going to work our way up to the good stuff. The Burns Shimaev, the Aljo versus Jan. Was it a robbery? Find out soon. And then Volkanovski, early stoppage. Korean Zombie was coming on strong. I'm kidding. Okay, that's a mean joke. I'm sorry, Zombie. I love you. We're going to start off with an early prelim fight. Alexei Oleinik versus Jared Vanderaa. Alexei Oleinik is 44 years old, dude. And he doesn't look a day past 62. No, I'm kidding. What a savage. What a weird fighter, dude. His record, okay? 60, 16, and 1. 60 wins, 16 losses, and 1 loss. 60, 6-0. The dude's 44 years old. He comes out striking like this, and then he'll choke the shit out of you, and that's what he did. Vanderaa, much younger, much more powerful, at least on the feet. And Oleinik wasn't able to get his first takedown, so he kind of just grabbed him and just like kind of pulled guard. Like he pulled guard. He just like laid on his back. Vanderaa had some ground and pound, and then he took Oleinik's back. And as soon as Oleinik like reversed position, he was toast. He was just done. You could see it. I love seeing old guys like this just get a W. Joe Rogan interviews him, and he was like, how long are you going to keep doing this? And Oleinik says, like, I'm going to fight for another 5 to 10 years. I'm assuming he's joking. It seemed like he was joking, but what a savage answer from a savage man. Mike MacLeod fought Mickey Gall, and he got a knockout in the first round. Mickey Gall came out, had some good striking. I'm surprised he didn't try grappling more because that's kind of his bread and butter. But MacLeod with a left hook from hell. It was one of those like knockouts where like Mickey Gall just like hit his chin first, kind of just slid across the mat. Rough to watch. Raquel Pennington beat Aspen Ladd in a decision, a pretty close fight. Anthony Hernandez introduced Josh Fremd into the UFC, and man, that was just a relentless pace that Hernandez put on him. He was able to last the whole 15 minutes. And Fremd, you could just be like, he was just like, dude, get off of me. That's a tough first fight in the UFC. That guy was just relentless. Fremd looked good on the feet, but there wasn't that much of this fight that was taking place on the feet just because Hernandez was so relentless. Ian Gary continues the hype. He wins a decision over Darian Weeks. Nothing too crazy there. His striking looks really good. It's just about his takedown defense, which did look good in this fight. But, yeah, a solid W for Ian Gary, continuing the hype train for Ireland. All right, we're moving on to the main card. Vince Pichel lost the fight to Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen just looked a step ahead on the feet, looked a step ahead on the ground. And Vince Pichel and his beautiful mustache got the L. So, too bad for him. Mackenzie Dern versus Tecia Torres was a good-ass fight, dude. Mackenzie Dern surprised me on the feet. I thought on the feet, Torres would just tear her up, and that wasn't the case. Mackenzie Dern looked like she had some good power, a lot more basic, and I don't know how much of that success on the feet came from the fact that Torres was afraid of the takedown, but Mackenzie Dern continues to win fights on the ground without being able to get takedowns. She was 0 for 5 on takedowns. She had a lot of submission attempts. She had a Kimura that looked close, and then she had some kind of leg submission. I don't remember what it was. But Torres outlanded her 78-58. But you could just tell from all like the groundwork and all the just like the submission attempts that Mackenzie Dern was kind of controlling the fight. Really entertaining though. I really like that she couldn't get the takedown, so she's like, I'm just gonna kind of jump on you, and she was able to just work some cool stuff there. A real fun fight, to be honest. Like, not a lot of strikes thrown overall, but just solid all around. Fun watch. Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. Speaking of fun fights, this is a fight of the year candidate already. It was fight of the night, obviously. We now have some questions answered about Khamzat Chimaev. He made it a full 3 rounds. He had never made it to the 3rd round in his career, and he did it today with Gilbert Burns. Khamzat Chimaev took the 1st round. Gilbert Burns took the 2nd round, and Khamzat took the 3rd round. Fun-ass fight, dude. They were both busted up at the end of this one. Hamza, I think, is like humbled a little bit. Like, he fought someone who finally like put up a good fight. He had been punched twice within his first 4 UFC fights, and in this one, let's see how many punches in strikes Gilbert landed. Gilbert landed 141 strikes. So his strike differential is going to change after this one. Gilbert attempted 5 takedowns, landed 0. Khamzat was 2 for 3 in terms of takedowns. And Khamzat landed 124 strikes to Gilbert's 141. Gilbert looked good, dude. Like, he was swinging a little wild, but I think like having someone as big as Hamza in the octagon with you, they're just throwing some power shots. It's kind of hard to not just try to wing your arms and try to get him the hell away from you. Gilbert got dropped. Gilbert showed, toughness on the ground. He was able to get up when Khamzat took him down. And that second round was great, dude. He really put it on Khamzat. He really gave Khamzat his first, round that he's ever lost, I'm assuming, just based on the record, only having fought, 1 or 2 rounds in every single fight he's been in. I haven't seen a lot of his, early stuff. I just saw his UFC fights. But yeah, freaking amazing fight. Super fun. I'm wondering what's next for Hamza. I thought it'd be Usman, but they keep talking about Colby Covington, so I think Dana White just wants to say F you, Colby Covington, and have him get another loss. Not saying that that's a given. Like, Khamzat's a beast, but so is Colby Covington. He could easily win that fight. Not easily. He would have to work his freaking ass off, but I want to see Khamzat versus Kamaru Usman. I think beating Gilbert Burns warrants a title shot, but that could just be me. All right, it's a water break time. Then we're going on to Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan. Was it a robbery, guys? Tell me below what you think right now. As I'm drinking this water, you can tell me what you think. Did Aljamain Sterling win this fight? Did Petr Yan win this fight? Do you think it was a robbery? That's the question. Now, rounds 2 and 3 went to Aljo. That was clear. He had Aljo's back. Now, Petr Yan did say that he won the second round. I don't know if that was a language barrier thing or if Petr Yan was drunk. But you didn't win the second round, Peter. But you did win the 4th and 5th for sure. He was starting to put it on Aljamain Sterling at the end of the fight. It all comes down to a few things. It comes down to, was the second round a 10-8? There was a few commentators talking about that. I was wondering that. He had hella control in that round. And it comes down to the first round, really. If there were no 10-8 rounds, then it comes down to the first round, which was indecisive. Aljamain Sterling landed some really, really good body kicks. He won the first minute and a half of that round. Petr Yan started coming on a little bit towards the end, but it wasn't a decisive victory for either fighter. I'm going to have to go back and look at this one. I plan on doing a breakdown where I can go into this deeper and figure out who I think truly won. But in the 5th round, it was either, I told myself it was either 3-1 Aljo or 2-2. And I didn't know. I said it could be either one of those. Of course, it's hard to score a fight when you're watching it with your buds and just kind of chilling. But I don't think it was a robbery. I don't think we can continue the hate Aljo fake, paper champ thing. Like, he won a fight that was super close. It was a split decision. And he showed that he could do some serious work on the ground with Petr Yan. He was able to take his back twice. On the feet, you could tell that it was Yan all day. But it was a close fight. I'm going to have to take a look at it, and there'll be a breakdown on that soon. So look forward to that. Then finally, it was Alexander Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie, and this was an absolute masterclass in the world of MMA. Volkanovski just put it on Korean Zombie, and Korean Zombie had no answers on the feet. It was all Volkanovski in terms of power. It was all Volkanovski on the ground. It was all Volkanovski. Looking at the numbers here, Korean Zombie landed 51 strikes. Volkanovski landed 152. He tripled the output of Korean Zombie. In terms of takedowns, Korean Zombie didn't attempt one. Alexander Volkanovski landed 4 of 8 takedowns. Now, Korean Zombie, you can tell that the wrestling he's been doing and the training he's been doing with Henry Cejudo in Fight Ready Gym has been really good because he looked really good in terms of the takedown defense. When he did get taken down, he was able to pop back up. I am glad that Herb Dean was there to stop this fight because at the end of the 3rd round, it definitely could have just been over. But Korean Zombie's so tough, dude. When you see a fighter refuse the stool, instead of standing, he sits on the ground. That's some body language. Listen, I'm not a body language expert, but that doesn't look super good there, bud. Korean Zombie has so much heart, dude, and he lives up to his name. He is a freaking zombie. And Alexander Volkanovski lives up to his name, dude, because he is great. He is the great. Now, what's next for him? There's a lot of names. There's Arnold Allen. There's Josh Emmett. I want to see Max Holloway. I'm a little selfish there, but maybe do, like, even Calvin Kattar's there. Maybe do Kattar versus Arnold or Emmett versus Arnold, and then Holloway. I'd love to see the Holloway, rematch. I'd love to see the trilogy. Of course, that's selfish. I'm a big Max Holloway fan, so I don't know about that one either, but Volkanovski continues his reign and he'll probably climb the rankings. I want to see where he's at now. Right now, he's at number 3. Israel Adesanya's in front of him, and in front of Adesanya is Kamaru Usman. I don't know if this performance is going to make him leapfrog Adesanya, but he is right in the mix for one of the greatest fighters currently. So I look forward to seeing his future. I look forward to seeing all of these fighters' future. What's going to happen with Hamza next? That's going to be a whole storyline. His stock continues to rise. That's another W. What's next for Sterling? Is he going to fight Dillashaw? Are they going to do Petr Yan 3? I don't know. And then what's next for Volkanovski? Is it going to be Max? He basically called out the 145 division. He goes, you guys have to make it clear. He's like, you guys aren't standing out. Make it clear. Bring me a new contender, which is kind of badass. But such a cool dude. I love the respect between him and Zombie. But yeah, UFC 273 certainly had it all. A lot of decisions when you look at it. 4 out of the 5 main card fights were decisions. And then, yeah, a lot of decisions in the prelims too. But yeah, all around, solid fights. I had a great night watching these things. Looking forward to the next one. It's going to be Gaethje versus Oliveira for the next pay-per-view. So looking forward to that. So again, guys, tell me in the comment section below, Petr Yan or Aljamain Sterling? And then underneath that, was this a robbery or just a close fight? Someone's got to win. Could have been a draw. Could have been a draw. That second round's a 10-8. Petr Yan wins the first round. That's a draw. So we got to respect Aljo, though, guys. We can't keep hating on the dude. We know it's cringe when you pretend to be a champion, when you win via disqualification, but he brought the fight to Petr Yan today, and it was a good, entertaining fight. So, yeah, UFC 273, this is the recap. It's done. It's so late, guys. I'm so freaking tired right now, and I'm going to be making more videos now, so good stuff. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Amanda. Duh.
Next, we got Artem Lobov. We're going to stick him right up at S tier. Just kidding.